Good evening, everyone. I got a digital camera because my iPhone is maxed out with all the stuff that's been happening online and everything. I used up all the space I needed, pictures and whatnot, and information for my schooling. I'll get that taken care of. My biggest issue, and I'm keeping calm about it, is, and I quote, I'm addressing something online. I joined up with the Walkway campaign. If you didn't know, there's a reason why I'm doing it. For those who went to my channel, I thank you. For those of you who are giving me advice, constructive advice that makes sense, I thank you. That will be the point I'm getting into next. Now, I'm going to have this information come up here. Just give me a moment here. Just gotta work it and get it and everything, and it's becoming a hassle. Well, as I'm getting it up, I'll bring you the information up. There was somebody who got on to my Gmail account on my YouTube, and I don't know if it's his real name or if he's being one of these trolls, and I'm putting it out there, who's saying he's calling my service into question. Now, I have on file something that the military gives to their service members upon discharge, be it honorable or dishonorable. It shows it on the paperwork. It's called a DD-214. Not no double death, not no dubious death. It's called a Department of Defense form. 214 is the designation, meaning a discharge from active service. Now, with that in mind, and I'm going to go bring that information up, because I won't use a phrase that's been funny or whatnot, but it's been a little bit of a comical. And as I'm bringing it up, I'll keep going. In this, the person said something about if I've gotten into the service, I should be automatically patriotic and everything. I went into the Marines in 1986. During that time, patriotic is one thing, and it's something that I did take seriously. But there were people who were liberal and people who were and conservative who joined that were patriotic. Back then, we didn't have what we're having now. And I will quote what we're having: people virtue signaling over any given thing, arguing about any given thing, taking something out of context, and then putting their own spin on it to make themselves look good. My point in saying this, simply put, and I found information because it was sent around 7 this morning from a guy by the name of Jerry Brown. Now, there's a senator by the name of Jerry Brown, and I'm not, you know what? I'm going to read it, and you'll see it right here. It says here, he thought it was unheard of for somebody to be a Marine and a liberal at the same time. He figured anybody joining the military would have to be extremely patriotic-minded and hyper-aware of all national, international policies of the country they volunteered and pledged to defend. Apparently, our service members aren't the G.I. Joes or Rambos he imagined or hoped they were. Explain how it's even possible somebody who's in the armed services to not know which political party in their own country is opening up the borders for an invasion, or which party is trying to make it legal for a man in a dress to follow their little sister or daughter into the restroom. 2 + 2 is 5. So he's calling me on my military credentials. I put it like I said earlier. I went in 1986. I got out 1992. I didn't join after the fact. I didn't join after 9/11. So keep that in mind. It was a different time that I served. So trying to call BS on my military credentials, you know what? I'll show you the DD-214, but I'm blocking all the information now because you're not going to dox me. This smacks of an attempt to get information, glean it, and then use it to doggone smear me across the internet. We have a group out there by the name of Antifa that loves to document anybody who's not in lockstep with them. Keep in mind, I served at a different time. I have been out for pretty much over 20 years. Over the course of 20 years, all the stuff that's happening where people were Marines and liberals, that's understandable. People come from all different walks of life. They come in, they join up, they're sworn to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Now note the domestic part. And I'm going to calm down. I'm here in the local university because I kept going to a coffee shop, and right now that I'm going to classes, doing classes online, I'm taking my time away from needed studies to address this. Some people who are liberal, they're sworn to protect the Constitution, granted, but there's some on their free time, and there are some, I will add it, that are doing what he's talking about. I'm not one of them. I've been out for 20 plus years. Now, you got some people who aren't G.I. Joes or Rambos, you know, it's changed over time. Might not like it, might not care about it. I know one thing. I wasn't going to be indoctrinated into some BS that happened when I was choosing to get out. I got almost red pilled to stay in, which would have been helpful had my mother not passed away. Now, after she had passed, everyone from all walks of life, and I was stationed in Hawaii, mind you, more on that later on, but they were blue pilling me and blue pilling me to do all types of crazy stuff, of which I was not prepared to follow along. I chose to leave. Now, in the course of leaving, I went to La Crosse, Wisconsin, a small town, not like Milwaukee where I am now, and I'm telling them where I'm at. But I went to the school, the college system there. I could have stayed, but like I said, being blue-pilled, people like you're talking about right now here who are liberal, who had some questionable beliefs, nearly drugged me into that. I left the school after a year because of academic issues and financial issues. I went to technical college to get my degree first. And of course, during that time, I ran with the wrong crowd, i.e. not this crowd, but were people who were doing drugs, doing dope, getting into trouble. This was at the time when Bill Clinton got elected. And I'm going to quote in the fact of what Hillary Clinton said of blacks being made to be super predators. I got singled out. Now, in order to avoid being part of the system, I worked through probation. I fought to stay off of it. I got off paper. Then I went back into school. Got my technical degree, my associate's degree. Now it sped on from there, going through marriages, going through relationships, having kids who hate my guts. I'm 51 years old now. Now, right now, with all that's been going on, like I said, I've addressed it. Mr. Jerry Brown, you can keep calling me BS on my military credentials. My DD-214 will clear that up. They'll clear up the time I went in. I didn't go in at no 2008 or no 2005. If that's what you're thinking, this is dispelling that and debunking that. 9/11, 2001 happened. I was in a marriage which, by all intents and purposes, could have been going strong, but it crumbled because the person who I was married to followed these idiots who were blue-pilled. And the one who was blue-pilling her was a lawyer. I ended up getting divorced. She married that lawyer. I lost contact with my son. Now, to make things even more disheartening and troublesome, where you can probably call BS on it, I could care less. I ended up getting remarried to someone else again. But this person who blue-pilled my first wife had people blue-pill my second wife. This person had it out for me. I'm serious. He had it to the point where he wanted to make me an example. He came from down south in Mississippi. Now, with everything that's going on, everyone's saying Black Lives Matter. Right now, all human lives have a significance. And if you can be triggered by that, right now I could care less. But my biggest thing, I went back into school with my third marriage. Now, my third marriage was to, ironically, a liberal. He stopped bothering me after the person was liberal. Because he saw something, he said, and I quote, and I'm going to use I'm going to be careful with expletives, saying the N-word, but he used it. He said, he's not going to last no longer than 3 years. I lasted 5 in my marriage. That's why you see my walk away story. She ended up, we had differing views, but when the elections came around, that was brought to light. And it took 2 years of having to try to see all this stuff. With her being liberal, I chose to walk. Hence my walk away video. But during that time, I went through college, got my bachelor's degree, the one you saw in my video. Now, I could dare you to call BS on that, but you saw it, that I obtained that degree. Now I'm here going for a master's degree. Actually online, not at the college I'm at, and I won't say the name. Some people who might know it may know it. They could probably say where it's at, but it's like, that's neither here nor there. But right now, I'm no longer been out of the armed services for that, and things have changed. So right now, those who are Marines probably are, faithful to the Constitution. That's the bottom line. That's the almost important glue right there. The moment they do something to disobey the Constitution or just, put it in jeopardy and they're at fault for it, they'll be held accountable. It's a phrase the Marines take care of their own. Now, he says, how is it even possible for somebody who's in the armed service to not know which political party is on up the borders? I know for a fact. I got out. I've been out. I've seen people who've been handling things, getting handled, doing stupid stuff. Right now, Bo Birddog comes to mind, and he's Army. He's been oblivious to all the stuff, and he betrayed his country, and he's gotten paid for it. WTF, okay? Not calling curse, but WTF. Now, which party is making it legal for a man to dress? It means it's a Democratic Party. I was taught by a couple of instructors from Technical College and from my alma mater. Think for myself. I'm not going to end up being no mindless automaton like these NBC things you're seeing out there. We did that in boot camp, but like I said, after the rifle range, they gave us back some of our individuality because they said the one phrase, be smart on the battlefield. That means think for ourselves. Marines are not paid to be automaton, go mindlessly into a minefield. In the chosen reservoir, we were pulling back. We weren't retreating. We were thinking of ways around, getting around that retreat and attacking from other directions. They were surrounded. They pulled back so that way they can draw them in. Then when we withdraw some other people, we did another attack around the other way. We ended up having the armistice that went on for almost 70 years. Now, you still want to call BS on my military credentials? Have at it. My DD-214 speaks for itself. And like I said, if you want to see it, I'm blocking out the name. Well, you'll know my name. You see it right here. But I'm blocking out all the other information, like my social security number. Because I refuse to exploit myself. Or as I use the word prostitute, meaning Stormy Daniels, I refuse to exploit my information out there just to prove a point to you. And then all of a sudden, you might turn around and use it like Antifa does and dox people. It's an old phrase, I may be dumb, yet Anyway, this video might be going on longer than I have. I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm going through school, trying to better myself. In roughly 2 weeks, I go back to finalize my divorce from a liberal. I'm trying to keep calm, and I have people around me. I don't want to disturb them. They're studying. But someone who's liberal, who doesn't agree with my views, doesn't like me that I was being a veteran, slept around behind my back, is subjecting my son to all this FDBS. Now, if you lived in Texas, or if you know the words, what I'm saying, and I'm keeping it PC, because of necessity, you know what I mean. Now, like I said, that's being cleared up. Everyone who's seen my video, thank you for the comments. And I advise you, if you know people who are walking away, let's put it this way, 2 weeks from now, best way of walking away, vote. I don't care if you're voting for one side or the other. Go and vote. It's your civic duty. I gave all I had to, so you have that right. You want to waste that right away? You want to sit around, not do anything? Or if you're not of age, I can only say, live your life. Me, I'm walking away. I'm living mine. I serve my country. I have nothing ashamed to talk about it with. I'm not going to be ashamed about it, because it kept me from being caught in a conundrum, or should I say, a death spiral in the inner cities of Philadelphia. Places here in Milwaukee have it too. Yes, I said Milwaukee. But I know there's some people who don't know what's going on with this country in the current legal diaspora. Me, I've been out since 1992, slowly but surely. I've been fighting off being blue-pilled. I ended up almost getting blue-pilled totally. It took being in college. It took being divorced maybe a few times. It took a lot of things for me to wise up. For all of you, be strong. Walk away from the Democratic Party. It's not worth it. If you're seeing what's going on the television, and people say that it's all smoke and mirrors, it's like whether it's smoke and mirrors or not, you're seeing it. Your choice. I'm done.